Welcome to another edition of Tell It How It Is, No Filter. Thank you for joining me. I'm glad you could join me. I hope all is well and everybody's well. And we're here for another sit down, right? So make sure you subscribe to the channel, Voice of Reason, NF. See, I'm rocking my gear. That's on YouTube. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Get with me. You know what I'm saying? Let's make this a thing. We can help a lot of people, man. Just discussions alone. Words do matter. They say action speaks louder, but in a positive setting, words can matter as well. All right? So let's just go right in. Women may use a positive distraction like raising and paying more attention to their kids instead of entertaining or seeking a man. Obviously, single mom. I mean, this is like, that's a beautiful thing. Like, of course they should pay more attention and raise their kids. You know, that's not something that should be pointed out. Like, that should be happening. I guess in this case, they're saying that they may want to entertain or seek a man, but it's probably gone so left and it's just not working out that, you know, they take this break, you know, and just lock in even more. So it's not like they weren't already raising and paying attention to their kids. It's that they're more locked in where now it's almost things are going to, you know, people are going to come, men are going to come their way now, and they're not with it because they're already done super locked in. So now this is where the opportunities come and the interactions happen. And maybe their Mr. Right could be in that batch, but they're too locked in now. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. And who am I to tell them how to balance? Because I feel like you already locked in. If you're a good woman and you already a good mom, great mom, I don't think you need to give yourself more work or more challenge to say, let me lock in even more. You know, life is balanced. We are all parenting. We are all adulting. We are all working and still trying to enjoy our lives all at once. So I don't think, you know, you should get that deep in as an excuse. I mean, not even an excuse, as a distraction. It's not a bad thing. You can't go wrong. I'm not saying there's trouble at the end of this. What I'm saying is you may miss your guy. Who am I, right? You know, you may miss your guy. Don't really check out all the way like that, even if it's for something that good, you know. I mean, I think your kids get to an age or a place where they see what you've done for them and they see that. So now if they're mature enough and they, you know, you've done the bang up job I think you did, they too should be like, go live life. It's your turn. You know, very rare I get personal. When I came back to New York, my son did something like that. You know, he seen me adjusting and reshifting shit and getting back righteous. And he told me, Dad, it's your turn now. I ain't trying to stir no pots. That was big for me. That was big because, you know, that transition for him from before that, you got to know me personally to understand where I'm going with this. And I'm doing that on purpose. Where I was at before that, it was a tough transition for him. So for him to be mature enough to put the pieces together, he now has me back close by. He still says, it's your time. That's beautiful. So I say that to say, it's not about me. I say that, and I'm not even super dad 100%, 365, 24/7 because he don't live with me and he can still give me those flowers. Imagine the flowers your kids give you when you are the primary parent. I'm talking to the ladies. Usually y'all are the primary parent. So live your life as well as all. That's the only thing I can say to this, really. You know, it's a dope thing. It's dope energy. Lock in with your kids, but not to the point where you miss an opportunity. If you know deep down, that's what you still seek. That's what you still want. Because I'm all for support, voice of reason here. If you're not for that, if you're checked out like that, like I don't even want it, then Is that still the best way to go? I don't think so. I think, women, and it's a little bit of calling y'all out. I don't think no woman in her natural biological state doesn't want Mr. Right or doesn't want someone. I don't care what they went through. Maybe for the moment they may not think they want it, but I think overall your natural biological is to have someone. So that's why I would always encourage them to not really check all the way out with that. Don't throw the towel all the way in. Fellas is different because we more in that area only because we got to be manly men, alpha, protect, secure. Yeah, it's that animated. But we're fragile in this department when we really lock in. So if a man feels like he don't want to do it, you may debate against it. Like, well, if a woman deserves it, a man deserves it. But he could choose to move whatever, and I don't really judge it the same. I think everybody needs somebody. Everybody could, benefit from having the right somebody. But I feel men can decide more to not want to entertain that for however long. But I feel like women, you could take your breaks, you could chill out. But I think overall, that's what you want. So you face yourself on that. Copy, cool? All right. Fellas, would you select a partner that has an OnlyFans? Hear me out. It's still a no, right? I'm telling you, I'm cheating. Let me give you the teaser. Let me spoiler alert. It's no regardless of what I say here to continue this phrase. It's no. Fellas, would you select a partner that has an OnlyFans with solo scenes, with just toys, and then scenes with just women? Let's use both. So, no and no. What ladies you don't understand is that although that sounds better than having scenes online with men can see this. Men have access to this. Men could get off to it. It's just not a comforting feeling overall for a selected partner. And I'll throw myself in. There's no one else here to do that. I wouldn't be comfortable. The access. And who knows me knows why I'm smiling right now. It's a little hypocritical. But it's just not comfortable. Now, will you look at me as voice of reason and whoever knows me personally and say I should have a more open mind to this subject? No. I'm standing on business regardless of what you think you may know about me and how you think or the past. But, nah. I see where they're going with it because through the grapevine, there's a lot of women with this OnlyFans that do the bare minimum because they can get a check without having to go to lengths. You know what I'm saying? So they can just be in a bikini possibly. They can just, like whatever bare minimum based on the fans and attention they drew, So I get the bare minimum because maybe they're even thinking they don't want to be disqualified as a lifetime partner permanently. And then some don't care. So these tie in with the last topic, because even the OnlyFans chicks want somebody at the end of the day. I think they may be a little more blurred, but I think even they want somebody when it's all said and done. But I know they're not really putting themselves in a position to get that. And they're probably in their fuck it moment, or it is what it is. I got to make this money. Whatever their reasoning is for this, they're thinking in the moment. They're not thinking long term. And the very few that do think long term, they still just blurred. Like they don't want, come on. You know that this makes it hard. I don't care how fine you is. I don't care what work you got done. I don't care how fine you look without work being done. This makes it hard to be taken serious. You would have to, I'm telling you, ladies, I'm giving you the cheat code that still may not guarantee you. You OnlyFans chicks, you would have to dumb it down and get the simplest, humblest guy that never had a real fine woman in his life, not a lot, to maybe deal with this. And you're not going to love them all the way. You may be able to program yourself to love them because you know this is the only type of guy that you can get that's going to take you serious and not judge the fact that you had this OnlyFans. I'm telling you, you can listen to me or you don't. I make sense. The dudes who don't get, like if I had all mild to non-attractive women my entire life mixed with a low confidence behind that, you OnlyFans chicks probably could sway me. Now, if you get a guy that's not this description and you think he taking you serious, I don't want to put thoughts in your head. I don't want you to go on investigation. I don't want you to start checking his phone. But I'm telling you, it's not good. I think he'll do him. I think he'll do him. I'm just sorry. It's just said, you online. I'm like, come on. Everybody can see that. Everybody can see that. It's not to bash you. Do what you do. I'm just telling you. At least I gave you a cheat code because no real niggas is going to really take you serious long term with this. It's not good. It's just not good. There's no way to kind of sugarcoat it or have a better perspective of it. It is what it is. Sometimes women be doing too much. Oh, sometimes women do be expecting too much. Not doing too much, sorry. That's like a woman phrase about guys. But sometimes women do be expecting too much. Let's come on. I think I need another round of applause because I think a lot of these episodes I have, the topics always coincide with each other. It always makes sense. And I don't necessarily make sure they do. Give me one. What's the reason here? Yeah, so that stuff ties. They do be expecting too much. Because in that example with the OnlyFans, do you think you deserve the same chance at a man that a woman who just either works a 9 to 5, very low key, not sexualized on social media in any kind of way, really carries themselves to par? You think you deserve the same right away access that they do? Think about that. And it's sad because we're to blame for that thought process because men do crash out for sexual, visual things too often. And that's why it looks like it's a fair shot. But once we mature past that and don't let the physical and the lust be so strong in our decision making, way easier said than done. Then it's exposed that OnlyFans and the influencers on Instagram or wherever that's always showing their body, you shouldn't have the same access right away. I'm not saying one day you see the light and change your shit and maybe we could ignore bikinis and showing your body, just pictures, not vids or not vids, doing anything sexual where you really show your birthday suit. It may be a debate for you guys, for you girls. But we get checked so much, guys, because when a woman says guys do be expecting too much, we got to stay in our lane, right? We get checked on it. So if we don't make a certain amount of money, if we don't live a certain type of lifestyle, if we don't have a certain type of swag, if we don't look a certain way as far as like, I guess, physical, not so much face, like our body, whatever. In some cases, we supposed to have several seats, right? And not expect a Nia Long, a Sanaa Lathan. Lathan. I always never remember what her name is. It's crazy how she's that bad and I never could get... Yo, if I was ever to meet her, I'll probably get shut down just because I can't say the name right. But that's just a silly rant. You know, these are the women, I find attractive. Even I give flowers to Angela Bassett. I had a discussion with some associates the other day. I remember Shantae Moore, Sade. Anyway, like if I don't live a certain life or have certain resources, I have no business even mentioning the names I just mentioned. Like I'm out of line for that, correct? But then you take a woman who has an OnlyFans or just shows her body online, and again, we play a role, and they can sit there and want, I mean, I can't get too crazy here. They could want, I don't know, who you women like? Michael Ealy, back in the day, Morris Chestnut, I don't know. Y'all like Mekhi Phife? I don't know. I'm just saying names. But to my point, y'all have no business. But we can't tell y'all that because y'all already in y'all head about what y'all think y'all want and deserve. And then some guys play into it to help further support that nonsense. So y'all do have legs to stand on more than we do because it's very rare a woman entertains our nonsense and we don't have shit going on and they're going to make us feel like we're the shit. She pretty lonely, boy. I tell you, that's a lonely chick. But it's rare to expect that. And we're not too delusional. We're a little delusional, but not too delusional to think that we could get away with that in a large scale. So yeah, women, try to learn your lane. Try. But if you could get over, listen, if I was an outsider looking in and had no involvement, or in another life I was a woman, I can't knock the hustle. Do what you do. If you could get away, if you on food stamps and public assistance and you could pull a 7-figure dude, who am I to hate on that? And you got 4 kids, 3 different baby mothers, whatever baggage, and you still able to pull shit off, how can I really hate on that? Go. I just want you to be realistic in the chances of that. And you can't be mad that it's not obtainable easily. Is all I mean by that. You understand? Cool. It's hard for a couple when one works overtime and one just does regular shift. But who is it harder for? This is today's world. This is regular life. So couples, 2-income households, you would think that makes it better. And there's a lot of talks behind closed doors, that some people are only surviving because of that. They need that 2-income household. So when one does, and I'm going to play both sides. So when the man is the one who does all the overtime and his partner only just works regular and dip, I don't know who gets frustrated first. I do know. I don't want to make it seem that one-sided. I'm pretty sure the female gets frustrated first because if the guy's like a real alpha, knowing his duty and knowing, because sometimes we work like this regardless if we're with somebody or not. Is there more pressure that he has to do it when he's in a partnership? Sure. But the guys that's single or the guys that's on their own, I know them, they still go hard. They still do mega overtime. So I think once we get into that, and I'm not saying every guy is built that way, but once we get into that, we could continue that no matter who's with us. So that's why there's very little room to say we get frustrated because it go down like that anyway. So that's why I said the partner is going to get frustrated who does the regular shift because whatever reasons, they might call it justified. They don't spend enough time. They don't go out as much. They can't go away. Maybe because of kids as well. So it gets a little frustrating. And that's why I say it's hard for a couple. I didn't say they can't make it. I just said it gets hard. And those are the times where you get a little testy and you test your love and you test your faith and you test, is this my person for real? And that's when little messy shit happen. Now, guys can use this working overtime, whether with somebody or not, to also wander because of the frustration he sees from his partner, or maybe he feels that all this overtime I do, you do 8 hours. Whenever I pull up, get this white shit up out me. Not so harshly like you paying for her services. I'm just saying, as the partner, you get to come home after 8. Maybe there's the kids. There's reasons for you to be tired and not really in the mood. But I feel like in the mood or not, if you do 8 and I do 16, I ain't telling you every single day, but I think you might want to be in energetic spirits and find that energy somewhere. And it's not a threat. It's not trying to muscle you into, this masculine world, but it's just a fact. It's just a fact. Can we not sugarcoat here? Partnership, couple, a guy working 8 hours and you working 8 hours, he wants to fuck. Like the sex, the physical, we don't want to base shit on that, but y'all starting to forget how important that is. And it has to have a pattern. It has to have a sequence. It has to happen. It has to be often. I'm not telling you when and every 24 hours. I'm not giving you that, but it has to be often. You got to empty them balls out. I'm sorry. You got to have an empty tank. And I don't give a fuck who works what. So now let's flip it. If the woman is the overtime and the guy does the 8-hour, he could get frustrated with himself and then show that to his partner. But the frustration, I think, begins within him to say, I got to do better. I need to be more ambitious. He starts to criticize himself. And some can take that and rise, and some could take that and just be toxic for a long time behind that and not able to maneuver and do better. So I think that that's where that stems from, which doesn't make it any better. It's still not a bad situation. I mean, it's still not a good situation. It's hard for the couple, period. But just recognize this. And I can't say what to do to like right away fix this, because there may be a very justified reason why one has to work overtime and one just does regular shift. Again, the kids or the keeping of the crib or whatever. But y'all can work that out. Just understand each other and try to have understanding for each other. The one working the overtime got to understand the partner that does the regular shift too. It has to be a little more open-minded. But it is a little more on the regular shift person to have a little more understanding for the overtime person. Just a little more. Y'all both humans. Y'all both putting in work. That's not minus who's more important here. I'm just saying, have these conversations. But ladies, if you're the one doing the regular shift, you got to fuck. I'm just saying, empty the... You know what to do. I don't know why we act this delusional thing that we don't know. As much as you want to put physical and lust and all that to the back of the relationship, you can't put it but so fucking back. And to close out, men are supposed to be mysterious, but today I feel more women are. They may call it being indiscreet. We always had the phrase, growing up, teenage to adult, men are dogs, women are cats. Men are dogs because dogs shit and piss anywhere. They don't try to hide that. Cats, have you ever seen a cat shit or a piss? You can own cats and probably almost never see that. So were they always, if we're doing this comparison, women were always a little mysterious, right? What's making it more noticeable now is that men, we've lost that. We don't look mysterious at all. If we're not the most predictable, obvious creepazoids ever, social media is no help to that. That supports that message. We are. Just keep it a buck. You just bunch of horn dogs and fucking conquerors and, majority. I don't say everybody. But we gotta go back to mysterious. We can't be so obvious. We gotta be more selective. We gotta be more strategic with this shit, and not even as a strategy just to fool someone. I'm just saying just naturally that, because you become so more appealing and things could go your way in so many ways, not just getting women, just period. Like the more low key you could keep it, shit happens for you and it could continue to happen. Because the one thing about not being mysterious and being too vocal and being too chatty patty and out there is that whatever little come ups happen for you, people who don't really fuck with you will prey on that downfall when they know that. They can be preying on your downfall no matter how you carry yourself. But now you're giving them ammunition because they have specifics. People could be wishing bad for you, but not having nothing like to point at, like right out. But if you're like, oh, I got this job, or oh, I just got this girl, or oh, I might get this deal on this car or this crib, and you vocal, and the people who wish you no good is sitting there like, I hope you don't get that girl. I hope you don't get that crib. I hope you don't get that car. You get what I'm saying? So the mysterious is all around, but not to really bash, get at women for being too mysterious. We just don't like it because, can I speak for the men, ladies? Men don't like mysterious women anymore. I remember the cat thing, y'all always was. But you know how y'all more mysterious? the thing is, we don't want to crack the Da Vinci Code and play these mind games with y'all. Like, do she like me? Do she not? Okay, she showed a little something that she could, but that didn't necessarily mean that. And then when y'all go like little missing, y'all don't owe nobody if y'all not in no relationship. Y'all do y'all little strategic disappearing, barely respond. I hear it, man. Y'all not fooling nobody. Everybody has their phone in their hand 90% of the day. Most. I do know people who don't. And they still respond in a timely manner. Point is, y'all think y'all slick. Y'all really trying to move away. And maybe you think that attracts men. And it does. But you're going to an overload on it. Like, let's go back to the real hard workers, the ones who we've matured. We're a little more selective. We work a lot. So like now our time to hang out and seek and do things for us is a smaller window. So the more mysterious you are, the harder that is. Because we ain't got time to fish throughout the day daily to try to understand, is this a moment she just needs to herself? Like, I don't know. I sound like I'm going somewhere specific, but I'm really not. I really do mean overall. Overall, men, the bottom line is we need to be more mysterious than women. And they killing us right now. The lead is like 50-2. Because they playing it. You know, they acting like, you know, they could make it look like nobody's in their life really. No one's they're taking serious. Somebody's fucking. They don't have to show who that is. That may not be their man. Then they can move like they're single for a minute. Then they can move like they're not single. Then they can say it's celibacy. They could say whatever reasons they want and kind of like bait and strategize, and it looks that way. And it's crazy. I mean, if you have real homegirls that really, guys, for real, if you have women in your life that you are not seeking and they're your peoples, you really need to sit with them for a minute. Like if they got it going on, like if they move in a way strategically like how I'm describing and you think that's ill, like, yo, if I was a guy I got him, I know him. If I was a guy seeking them, I'd be stressed the fuck out. Because you move mad weird, son. But when you look at it from a homeboy standard, and that's just my homies, it's mad entertaining. Yo, fellas, I'm telling you, that's how you keep your sanity. You need homegirls. That shit is entertaining when you on that side. You feel me? Oh, man, I could go in and out all day on that one. But just fellas, let's step it up in that, all right? So till the next time, you know my 3 Ps. Stay positive, stay pushing, and stay progressive. Peace.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fuck